Today we're going over 50 tips inside of UEFN that can help you with your games. Starting off, you can right click anywhere on your screen and use WASD to move around your character. If you select an object and then click F on your keyboard, it will zoom in and focus right on that object. You can click time of day at the top of your screen to see what the map looks like in different settings. You can click W to move your object around, E to rotate your object, or you can click R to resize your object. In the top right, you can change your camera speed by selecting this little camera icon. You can move it up or down and it will make your camera go super fast or super slow. Down at the bottom of your screen, there's a content browser, and by opening different folders, you can find different assets that Fortnite has inside UEFN. Once you find an object that you want to import, all you have to do is left click and drag it on into your map. To access all the settings of your island, you can go to the top right and search island settings. And then once you click on island settings, on the far right, it will show all the different island settings that we're used to in Creative 1.0. If this accidentally gets deleted, you can go to the Fortnite folder, go to devices, and look it up in here. If you accidentally close a window, you can open it back up by going to the window tab at the very top of the screen. Once you click window, just select whichever window you accidentally closed and it will pop up right back on your screen. To import assets to your game, all you have to do is right click on the content browser, select import, and then you can go ahead and find the file that you're looking to import. You can select multiple objects at once by holding down shift and clicking on every single object. In the top right of your screen in the outliner tab, you can actually create folders to help yourself stay organized. If you have an object selected, you can click the escape key and it will deselect whatever you have selected. When you have multiple objects selected, you can move them around and you can even resize them all at once. You can load in terrain by going to the top left and clicking landscape mode. All you do is click new, drag the terrain to whatever level you want, scroll down and click the create button. Once you click create, it's gonna fill in this over time and it'll get perfect terrain. While you're inside landscape mode, you can actually go up to the sculpting tool and you can make certain different sculptures with this terrain. All you have to do is hold left click as you're dragging across anywhere on the terrain. Inside the sculpting tools, you can change the brush size, also the strength of the brush, to get some different effects on your terrain. Inside landscape mode, you can also use the paint tools by clicking paint. You could select the paint that you like and then just simply left click to drag across your terrain and it will automatically paint it to whatever you had selected. You can make some easy roads by using the dirt terrain and just simply dragging it across with your left click again and making simple roads just like that. Inside your project, if there's anything you don't like, you can click Ctrl Z and that will undo the last thing that you previously just placed down. You can also go up to the top left in edit mode and click undo there. On the far right inside your outliner, you can actually click this little eyeball tool, and if you select it, it will make whatever you had selected invisible. And once you click it again, it'll make it visible again. So if you have to work on a certain layer and want something out of the way, you can click this and make it super easy. Inside the place actors tab, you can actually select a point light and drag it on into your island. And wherever you place this, you can add some lighting to your map. There's also some settings on the right to increase the intensity, also the radius of your light. If you want to connect two separate devices to each other, all you have to do is select on the first device, scroll down on your settings. And for example, I want to have this barrier disabled, so I'm going to click disable. I'm going to click this little plus icon, and then I'm going to scroll down and use this pen tool. I'm going to click the pen tool, select what I want to use, which is a button. I'm going to click the button. And then if I scroll down on this drop window, I can click on interact. And now I just connected these two devices. When I interact with this button, it is going to disable this barrier. If you have a device that can hold certain items, all you have to do is go to the far right of your screen. While you're selecting the device, go to the item list tab and click this little plus button. Next, all you have to do is click index, select this drop down button, and then choose whatever item you want to have in here. So for example, if you want a scar, you can go ahead and select a scar and then boom, it's inside the item granter. Make sure you guys are always saving your island. You can click Ctrl S and that is a shortcut to saving your island. Or if you want to do it the slow way, you can go to your file and click save from up here. You can play test your game by clicking the launch session button at the very top of your screen. A quick tip for any device that you add inside UEFN, on the bottom right, it's going to have all the different settings that we're used to in Creative 1.0. Inside your content browser, you can actually upload your own audio files. All you have to do is right click, click import, Next, you just have to select an audio file. I'm going to throw down this one that I already had saved. We're going to go over to devices and we're going to look for this audio player device and throw it down into our island. Next, all you have to do is under this audio tab, drop down this window and then find that audio that you just uploaded. Once you find it, go ahead and click it. And now your audio is hooked up to this device. Inside here, you can adjust the volume, all these different settings, and then you can have it play on a certain device. Also inside the content browser, if you right click, go to cinematics and click level sequence, you can actually use the level sequence to use a lot of cool stuff such as cinematics, also to animate different objects inside your game. If you want to watch a full video on that, I have a couple of tutorials on my channel. If you want to copy an object inside your map, all you have to do is select the object, hold Alt, and then drag the object and it will make a complete copy for you right there. You can also click Control C and then Control V and it will copy and paste it as well. If you want to replace a whole bunch of actors or something else, all you have to do is select the actors you want to replace. And once you have these actors selected, you can go to the top right click, and then go over to replace actors and then choose whatever you want to use to replace them. And it will go ahead and replace them all for you. This is really great for like trees in the forest. You can change the different tree color or something like that. You can upload test codes for your map and playtest them by yourself by going up to the project tab up here on the top. You can go ahead and click upload the test code. UEFN also has a modeling and animation mode, and I'll hopefully make some more tutorials on that very soon. To make first person mode inside your map, all you have to do is go over to the Fortnite tab. You're gonna search up helipad. And once you find the helipad, you're going to drag this into your map. It's best if you go ahead and rotate this so it's standing upward. And then all you have to do is resize this. Now, there is no limit of resizing inside UEFN, so you can make this as big as you want. And anything inside this zone will be first person. Now, instead of resizing by clicking R, you can actually go over to the right-hand side over here where it says scale. And you could type in a custom number for the object you want to resize. So if I type in 10,000 and click enter, it's gonna make it go 10,000 in that direction. So if I do 50,000, oh yeah, look at that. It's getting super big now. And finally, if I do 100,000, brace yourselves. We're going super, super, super far. You can't even see that no more. On the same side, you can also change the rotation and location if you're trying to get an exact pinpoint number. If you want to make a barrier invisible, you can't just select an invisible barrier. So what you have to do is click this little clear button while you have the barrier selected, and it will go ahead and make your barrier invisible. Now, this is an old trick, but if you want to have players be able to stand inside this barrier, all you have to do is go down to where it says zone shape. You're going to select this drop down menu and click hollow box. That's going to make the barrier hollow, and then people can stand inside that barrier. Inside UEFN, there's a bunch of search bars, so make sure you guys use this to your advantage. If you're looking for a specific object, you can go ahead and search for them in here. They'll make finding things super easy. Now, my next tip is when you publish your game, make sure you do research and learn how to market it, or else you will not be getting any plays. When you publish your maps, you will be eligible for discovery mode, but if you're not in there, you're not going to be getting any plays on your map. So make sure you guys have a marketing idea in mind if you want to get players inside your map. If you guys go to the project tab, you can click project size and run a test, and that way you can see the size of your project and kind of get an estimation of how the memory will look inside Fortnite. There's also a UEFN forums that I'm going to link down below in the description, and there's a bunch of Q&As and other tutorials on there that you guys can use as a great resource. You should follow other UEFN creators, not only to network, but also learn from each other. You can use their maps as inspiration for your own games and just learn from each other. Inside the creator portal, if you click analytics, you could see how many daily players you have inside your map, as well as concurrent players that are playing your game right now. You can use this data to see how well your map is performing and make adjustments on every update or for future projects. My next tip is to get a creative friend. It is so much easier to build when you're building with a group or like a friend. It's a lot more fun, plus you guys can bounce ideas off each other and makes it a lot easier for learning. My next tip is to plan your project before you start building. building. Unless you're just starting out and playing around with the devices, that's totally fine. But if you're thinking about your real game, make sure you guys take the time to plan. It will help you out a ton. My next tip is to think of the player base you want to reach. Are you trying to reach comp players? You guys trying to reach casuals? Are you trying to bring players from another game? Think of your audience. And my last tip for you guys is take time learning. Everyone is posting their awesome creations all over the internet. It can kind of get overwhelming, but make sure you guys focus on the quality of your game and take your time with it, because the quality will be worth it in the end. But yeah, guys, that is gonna be 50 tips inside of UEFN. If you guys found this video helpful, share with a friend, drop a like on it. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna be doing more UEFN content in the future. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, everybody.